I love how our recording software like counts down like a time.
I know, it makes
5,
me feel really
4.
professional. And I'm like, and we're live.
Yeah.
Somebody's like pointing
to
it.
It does seem like a TV producer studio or something. We're like, in 5, 4.
Yes. Yes. But less pressure since, no video for us.
Yeah, exactly. I can just look really cool in my, I don't know, tank top and sweater and undone hair.
I just took a shower like an hour ago, so.
Oh, well. Look at you.
I like to take midday showers now that I work from home.
No,
like a lunchtime shower is my ticket.
That's the way, because in the morning I'm like barely a human.
No. So yes, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, like all I can do is make coffee and go to my desk, and then in the middle of the day when I finally wake up and become a person, that is when I shower. Agreed.
Yeah, my new basic routine has been to either do my little yoga / workout in the morning after my coffee, or I do it at my lunch break. And then after I do my yoga / little workout, then I just shower on my lunch break as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The midday shower it's honestly been a game changer from working from home.
I always hated showering in the morning, and then I became like a night before showerer. But that's not ideal either, because you know what? I don't want to be drying my hair and doing all that stuff like right before bed. Like I'm ready to relax in the evening, not do more work, which showering is work to me, not a relaxing activity.
Agree. Especially if you have to like make sure your hair dries a certain way and like, I don't know.
Yep.
But I agree with you, because I feel like I was a night shower person before I started working from home, because I didn't want to get up early enough to try to do all that rigmarole in the morning before I went to work.
Yeah.
But I don't think the night shower was actually the solution. I just think it was the better option than the morning one.
Yes, agreed. 100% agree.
Yep.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Emily.
We're two long-distance best friends with a passion for learning about all the things that make everyday life interesting.
With my PhD in geography
and my master's in library science,
doing deep dives on topics is our idea of a fun time together. We'll share our findings with you on
Researching the Obvious.
Well, showering has nothing to do with our topic today. Although I guess we could think about, I don't know, for whatever reason, showering made me think about when we lived in our dorm and we had to walk all the way down the hallway to take a shower. And that was weird.
Yeah. And wear flip-flops. To do that and like walk around in our towels and take a shower caddy.
And how the men's bathroom was literally across the hall from our dorm room. And they were constantly coming in and out of the shower like across the hall from us.
Yeah. And I just remember being so annoyed that it wasn't our bathroom. I'm like, why do we have to walk all the way down the hall and their bathroom is like right across from ours?
Yeah. Like for our listeners out there, when I see right across the hall, I mean, if you came out of the men's bathroom door and kept going straight, you would literally walk into our door.
Yes, correct.
Like if our door room was open, which often it was propped open, you could just walk straight from the bathroom door and into our room.
Yep. So yeah, you would also hear that door like swinging open because it was just like a swing door that, it's soft closed. It wasn't like it was slamming, but you could still hear it.
Yeah.
So that was
I wonder what, since we had our door propped open a lot, this is, I assume this is how most dorms are. Maybe not. But our dorm was very communal and everyone just had their doors propped open all the time. We even had a rock painting day where we went and picked out rocks and then everyone in the dorm painted them and then used them as doorstops for their door.
We totally saved
We
ours.
did. How did we do that? Where did it go?
One of us took it home, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
I think you might have had to take it home.
That's a wild decision on my part. But I do wonder, since our door was open and all those guys were coming out of the bathroom and having to look into our room constantly when they came out, what they thought of the way that our room
God.
was set up and decorated.
You know, funny enough, Emily, that never occurred to me at the time.
It just occurred to me right in this moment.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
It was definitely not something that I considered until 5 seconds ago.
Because we made some interesting choices when it came
Interesting design choices, for sure.
Yeah.
We were not Instagram aesthetic.
I was just going to say, if you've seen those Instagram videos of kids going to college now and setting up their dorm room and like, no, not even close.
Nope.
Now, I will say we had some nice matching things, but not even on purpose. Because we just shopped at the same location and picked out the same things.
We both showed up to school when we didn't know each other with the same exact, what are those things called? Poppin chair?
Yeah, like a disc. I call it a disc chair.
Disc chair.
The round. Yeah.
Yes. But the same exact one in the same exact colors. And that was just one of the things that we showed up with.
Yeah, the same little rolly cart with drawers.
Yes, the same drawer cart. The same
with the same
messenger
lamp.
bag. Oh, yeah, the same lamp. I forgot about the same lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, we literally showed up with the same exact stuff and we were like, are we the same person? What is happening here?
But then we needed to put things on our walls, of course. Right. So, we did the whole college poster thing. There was like a poster sale. So we both picked out some posters. Mm-hmm. And then you had brought a whole stack of CDs.
Yes, they were like the AOL free trial CDs.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Because back in the day, they were just throwing those at you. You could get them everywhere.
Yes. And
I think I got most of mine at the movie theater, just like up front.
Okay. Yeah. And you would just take them and keep them. Like you had an insane amount. You had enough to go around our whole room.
Yes. That was the thing is we used the CDs as decor. So it was very like rainbow shiny. We like stuck them to the wall and made a very shiny rainbow CD border across our whole room. Yep. That was one choice we made. And then I don't even know how to explain the other choice that we made because I don't even know where it came from.
I think it was my contribution, to be honest.
Okay.
And here's what I remember happening. I remember going to the store and being in college. I don't even know how to explain this, like how to justify it.
There's no justification. Everyone will know that we are strange if they haven't known already.
Yes. I got on this kick of buying all different types of pop. Like I just wanted, I don't know, let's get some orange pop. Let's get some Dr. Pepper. Let's get some of this. And then this became a big habit of mine. I think just because I could buy what I wanted and there was no one to tell me, no, you shouldn't be drinking that much pop.
I also feel like it was like a strange heyday of different varieties in the early 2000s because there was like Diet Coke with lime and then Diet Coke with lemon and then I don't know, like all the different Mountain Dew flavors, and there just was a lot of testing of different flavors, I feel.
And so I just remember going to the store and being like, well, let's just get a different flavor of this, like what flavor am I going to buy this time to keep in our dorm little mini fridge? And then at some point it occurred to me that these were works of art. The boxes that they came in, I guess. And like, since we were trying so many different ones, I think I was like, I'm going to cut out the logo, the side of the cardboard box that they came in, and we'll collect them and hang them up.
Yeah.
So that you can see all of the different.
I think at one point we were like, could we just wallpaper our room with the pop boxes? And then eventually we stuck actual cans up there too.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. We decided to save some cans. And we stuck like under each of the cardboard
boxes, the empty cans on the wall.
I don't know.
I think, we were just bored and poor and trying to be eclectic in our dorm room. I don't know. But we definitely had a wall that had pop boxes and cans stuck to it underneath the CD border.
We got a lot of comments on it. I'm not going to say compliments, but I will say comments. We got a lot of comments.
It was definitely a choice that people discussed.
I think we were definitely the only ones doing it too. It did not catch on.
I will say that our room was more decorated than 80% of the rooms.
Yeah, we were really into putting things on the wall, just in general. I think we just wanted to fill up the wall.
Yeah, like our neighbors, I don't think had a single thing on their wall.
Yeah, maybe a poster.
So anyway, today's topic is pop/soda, in case you didn't collect that idea. Yep.
The actual beverage, not like the logos or the boxes or the cans.
The actual beverage.
And I remember, too, one of the small things we bonded over in college was that we both called it pop when we came to college.
Yes. Being from, I mean, we've talked about this in our language episode, but yes, being from the Great Lakesian area of the country.
Right. And pop. We were in a New England soda area.
Yes. So it bonded us immediately as outsiders.
Like, you call it pop too?
Immediately we were recognized as the outsiders we were, and also the same.
Though I will say I more often call it soda now. Pop has kind of started to go away a little bit.
What is interesting is I actually just saw a map, and everyone on here knows of my like pop soda map, but I saw a recent map that showed that the prevalence of the word pop is declining.
I believe it.
Yes. So now you only find it in pockets as opposed to in broader sweeping areas. So I'm not surprised to hear that. I think the internet and YouTube and TikTok and stuff has really accentuated the use of soda.
Yeah. And I just feel there's, at least in Indianapolis, I've always felt like there's been a mix of people who say pop and people who say soda. It's definitely one of those in-between areas. So not that people wouldn't know what I was talking about if I said pop, but there's part of me that's kind of like, pop, that just sounds, I don't know, are people going to look at me weird? Because there's a lot of people who say soda. I just hear more people who say soda now. So I just find myself saying soda because I know that's what other people say more often than
I think I tend to go these days with the actual thing that I want. Like if I want a Coke or like if I want
a Sprite or a 7-Up or whatever.
Yes. Like I will say specifically like I want a Coke Zero or something. But I also feel like I actually just drink a lot less than I used to too.
Yep.
So
me too.
Yeah.
And now we're a big K family now because with the ridiculous prices.
Yeah, in this economy, Coca Cola.
We're not buying brand name anymore. Like that's a special treat that I get when we go out to eat. That's the only time I actually get Diet Coke.
Despite the fact that there are some soda trends these days where soda is trending.
Oh, yes, because we just got ourselves a swig.
That's exactly it. It's like this new soda fountain revival, I guess you could call it. Yeah. Where, swigs. And I feel like Sonic's too.
Yep.
They had that like Nerds soda.
Oh, they did? I mean, I don't have a Sonic near me, so.
Oh, well, I come from the land of Sonic. So Oklahoma over there. But they had a soda that it was like a Sprite essentially, but you could get Nerds put in it, and it like sold out within 2 days.
That's understandable. I love Nerds.
Yeah, very popular.
I feel like they're having a moment too.
It's true. But yeah, so I know that we've talked about different kinds of pop, like how in the Midwest you can get certain types of pop like Verner's and Faygo. But I was really just wondering in general when soda became a thing, because I know when we did our water episode, we talked a little bit about spring water and then of course naturally carbonated spring waters as being something that was like seen as helpful
when they started
and like medicinal
to bottle
and
like bottle it and sell it to people.
Yes. And so then I was wondering when soda kind of comes into play as a beverage, right? And shockingly, it's kind of related to that whole spring water, medicinal water for healing tonics kind of thing is when we get soda.
Okay. And as a reminder too, that's because at the time there might not have been as much potable water in cities or even like rural areas or things like that. And so these spring waters became something that was appealing to people. And people drink a lot of beer, right? Too. We talked about that. Ales being an alternative because people couldn't rely on the safety of the water.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And so what's crazy is soda is related to both beer and to the whole like health tonic thing. So in 1767,
wow.
So kind of early on, but that is when people figured out how to create carbonated water. And basically what happened is this guy, Joseph Priestley, he was a chemist, and he suspended a bowl of water over a vat of beer. So beer, because it like naturally creates carbonation when it ferments, it was creating all that fermentation, carbonation. And so he suspended a bowl of water over that, and it carbonated the water from the beer, which I thought was really interesting. But he didn't really do anything with that knowledge. He just kind of was like, oh, cool. I created bubbly water. You know, and that was kind of unique because there are some naturally occurring spring waters that have CO2, like carbonation in them. But before that, we couldn't really make our own carbonated water.
Okay.
But then I think we talked about this in our water episode also. In 1783, Johann Jacob Schwepp
yes.
figured out, that he could sell the carbonated water. So it took almost 20 years, like 15 years or so, before anyone did anything with this carbonated water. And he figured out that he could sell it, but it was still pretty limited in what he could do because he essentially had to bottle it and ship it, kind of thing.
He was based out of Switzerland, right?
Yeah, Germany, Switzerland, that area.
Yeah.
At the time, 1700s, the borders are weird.
Right.
But yeah. And so then in 1806, so like another 20 years, basically, this guy, Benjamin Stillman, he was a chemistry professor. So we have a lot of chemists going on here.
Yeah.
He is the one that invented the soda fountain. And so he set up his first version of the soda fountain in a drugstore in New Haven, Connecticut. And so once he set that up, then that's when really carbonated water could be more easily accessible to people. And so, if we remember back to the spring water episode, there's a movement during the mid 1800s to develop drinks that have medicinal properties. Spring water was one of these medicinal beverages, and naturally occurring carbonated spring waters were also one of these beverages. But what else they did is they took this carbonated water from soda fountains and they'd add different salts, because salts were used for like medicine and healing and stuff. And so they'd add these different salts. And once they did that, that's where soda comes from. So the word soda actually is just harkening back to the idea that carbonated water with salt in it was like the first thing being sold out of these soda fountains in pharmacies as like medicinal drinks.
Okay.
Yeah. And the first version of like a flavored carbonated soda beverage was actually a mixture of wine and soda water.
Ew.
So I'm sure they thought like wine was also healing properties or whatever. And so they mixed wine with soda water, but then that was expensive because not everyone could afford the wine to put in the soda water. So what ended up happening is they started coming up, like all these pharmacists started coming up with other different flavor syrups to put into the soda water that would like mimic the idea of wine, because people couldn't afford the wine.
Yeah.
So that's when they started adding like sassafras or different herbs or fruit concoctions or something like that to give it a flavor. And that's really the early versions of soda that was happening in the mid to late 1800s.
Yeah. I think it's so interesting that the pharmacy was the site of this development too, and the pharmacist. And I found, like, later I'm going to talk about some other more regionally specific soda varieties and who invented them. And a lot of them are pharmacists. And I'm like, what is with all these pharmacists. But I guess it goes back to that, like you said, the medicinal properties, or they would sell this as like a tonic, or like this can help you with whatever ailment you might have.
Exactly. It's interesting you say that, because basically all these flavored sodas were really small scale, whatever you could get at your local pharmacy, until Coca Cola, essentially. But that still started at a pharmacy. In 1885, the late 1800s, we have this guy, Dr. John Pemberton, and he was a Confederate commander in the Civil War. And he came back from the Civil War to the Atlanta area, an addiction to morphine, as one does.
Yes.
He was trying to find an alternative to his morphine addiction, essentially. And he created something in his pharmacy called Pemberton's French Wine Coca, which was basically some different flavorings that mimicked the wine flavor. Like, that's why he called it wine, because of this idea that wine and soda were a thing. So did some different flavorings. There was alcohol in it, and also cocaine, which is where the coca comes from in the name. So Pemberton's French Wine Coca is what he invented, and it was marketed as a tonic to calm the nerves.
Wait, cocaine calms the nerves?
I guess the alcohol maybe counteracts the
sure.
cocaine. Yeah.
Oh man, that's just a whole mess of.
Is that better than a morphine addiction? Is it? I don't.
Yeah. And they say nothing good comes out of war. Look, we got Coca-Cola.
But this also relates to a lot of our discussion about prohibition, because he was in Atlanta, and the county then in 1886 decided to pass a temperance law which banned alcohol. And so he created this drink to solve his problems, and then was like, JK, I can't put alcohol in it anymore because of this ban. So he had to change the recipe. So what he did is he replaced the alcohol in the concoction with extract from the cola nut. That's Kola, the cola nut, which has caffeine in it.
Okay.
And so you get the original formula for Coca-Cola, which was coca from the cocaine that he still kept in it, because that was fine, just alcohol wasn't. And cola for the cola nut caffeine. So it was basically like a caffeine cocaine beverage.
To calm the nerves.
But he started selling this flavor syrup to different soda fountains, and it started getting popular, but then he got really sick. And so he had to start selling off of his company piece by piece. And so in 1888, only like 2 years after he invented this thing, Asa Candler, who was an Atlanta entrepreneur, purchased the syrup from him. And then Candler is the one that basically went balls to the wall and made Coca-Cola what it is today, because he saw the syrup as like a really popular thing. I mean, it had cocaine in it. Like, but okay. So anyway, he was the one responsible for making the company grow. He aggressively expanded. And by 1892, 1888 to 1892, so 4 years.
Yeah.
He had reached distribution in all 50 states.
Holy, wow.
Yeah, so he was just like, I'm going to sell the crap out of this thing. And then by 1904, only 14 years after he bought it, basically, annual sales of Coca-Cola hit the 1 million gallon mark.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah. So it just like took off like wildfire.
But I mean, it's like legal drug sales, so I guess that makes sense.
I mean, it's cocaine, right? And caffeine. Like, people were probably hopped up on whatever's going on there. In 1906, Canada, Cuba, and Panama became the first 3 countries to start selling Coca-Cola outside the U.S. And then it just like grew from there, really. In 1928 is when they started selling Coca-Cola at kiosks at the Olympics in Amsterdam. So Coca-Cola basically started their long partnership with the Olympics in 1928. In 1931 is when you have the iconic Coca-Cola Santa Claus stuff, which is basically where we get Santa Claus from, right? Like the current image of Santa Claus that we have now is from Coca-Cola.
Really?
Yes. So the guy with the big white beard and the red suit and all of that is Coca-Cola created that image. And prior to that, we didn't really see Santa Claus as looking that way.
That's crazy. Advertising, man.
Yeah. So, you know, and then kind of the rest is history at that point, right? Like Coca-Cola is the number one pop soda by a lot in the world.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and it just grew at that point. What's interesting, because I was curious, I was like, okay, but what about Pepsi though?
Yeah.
Because Pepsi's like trying to be Coca-Cola, but it's just not.
No. Well, and I will say I've spoken to some diehard Pepsi fans, and I think that they would argue that, you know, Pepsi's not trying to be Coca-Cola. Pepsi's its own thing and it's better. Yeah. And it's kind of like, but to me, it's like the mayonnaise versus Miracle Whip.
Yes.
Argument.
Yes. It's the inferior version of Coca-Cola, yes, in my opinion.
That's what I think too.
Like, honestly, if I don't drink Coca-Cola that much, and if I want a Coke and order it, and someone's like, we have Pepsi here, I'm like, never mind, actually.
Right?
I don't want it. Like, I'll switch to iced tea or something. Like, I don't want it.
Yeah, I have to be pretty desperate to drink a Diet Pepsi. It has to be if I'm eating like pizza or wings, which is something that I really, really want soda with. But yeah, it's always disappointing.
Yeah.
But I just close my eyes and I pretend like it's Coke.
Oh, I don't know. I can't even do that. I'm just like, I'll just pick something else.
Yeah.
I'll go for a Sierra Mist. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what was interesting to me is, so Pepsi, basically in 1893, so this is a few years after Coca-Cola was already in all 50 states, right? Mm-hmm. It was, you know, very popular. Another pharmacist, Caleb Bradham of New Bern, North Carolina, he worked in his pharmacy and he was noticing how popular Coca-Cola was. He was like, well, if it's this popular, I'm just going to make my own formula and then I don't have to buy it from the Coca-Cola company. I can just make it myself. But his big thing was that he refused to add cocaine to it because he was concerned about the health effects of cocaine.
Oh, well, good on you, but not as good of a marketing tactic.
Yeah, right. People didn't get addicted as easily, I think.
Right.
But so he didn't put the cocaine in, and he only added the cola nuts for pep. And so he created Pepsi Cola because the cola nuts give you pep.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. But he wasn't very good at selling it, and so he actually filed for bankruptcy after World War I.
Oh.
Pepsi wasn't super popular. Someone bought the company when he filed for bankruptcy, but then it ended up in dire straits again and almost went bankrupt again in the 50s and 60s. And then it wasn't until the 1970s, because of how poorly they were doing, they hired a whole bunch of advertising folks.
Madmen.
Yeah, right. And that's when they created the Pepsi Challenge, which some of our listeners may be familiar with the Pepsi Challenge. But basically it was like a series of TV commercials where they blindfolded people and then had them taste Coca-Cola and Pepsi side by side and say which one they preferred. Mm-hmm. And obviously the people that said they preferred Pepsi are the ones that they put in the TV commercial.
Yeah.
But Pepsi Challenge really took off. So it makes me think of like all these other, I don't know, social media challenges and stuff that we have today that people do. Yeah. And so back then it was one of the first kind of challenge things. And so people were blind tasting Pepsi to see if they liked it better. And that's when it was a turning point for Pepsi. And it became, for a while, the number 2 selling soda after Coke. And then, you know, in the 1980s, we know that bottled water started becoming a thing because people started becoming health conscious. And so soda companies were like, oh no. And then that's when they created all the diet sodas that we have now.
Okay. Yeah. So. And that was around the time of the rock and roller cola wars, right?
The cola wars.
Yeah. If you're familiar with the We Didn't Start the Fire lyrics.
Yeah.
Between Pepsi and Coke.
Pepsi and Coke. Exactly.
Interesting. I didn't realize that Pepsi wasn't that big until the 70s.
Yeah. And what's even more interesting, because I also wanted to look into something else, so I'll end with this little tale. Pepsi has just recently been dethroned as the second most popular.
What is it?
In 2023, Dr. Pepper became the second most popular soft drink in the U.S.
Oh, is Dr. Pepper not owned by Pepsi? What is Dr. Pepper?
They are independent. They are Keurig Dr. Pepper. Keurig Dr. Pepper.
Really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's well deserved. Dr. Pepper's way better than Pepsi.
It is. I will drink a Diet Dr. Pepper. Oh yeah, Diet Dr. Pepper.
Any day.
Superior.
Yep. Even Diet Dr. K. I love it.
Superior
which is
beverage.
The big K version.
Yeah, and Dr. Pepper is even classified as its own category of sodas by the Food and Drug Administration. So you have colas, you have fruit sodas, and then you have pepper sodas, which is its own category.
That's fascinating.
Yes. So yeah, so I was interested in looking up Dr. Pepper because when I lived in Oklahoma, that drink has Oklahoma in a chokehold.
Oh, really?
The amount of Dr. Pepper that is consumed in Oklahoma, I cannot overstate how much Dr. Pepper is consumed in that state. I worked with people who drank Dr. Pepper for breakfast instead of coffee.
Oh my God. Okay.
Dr. Pepper.
Wow.
Specifically. Yes.
Do you know what Dr. Pepper always makes me think of is a Blast from the Past and how Christopher Walken likes warm Dr. Pepper. Warm Dr. He heats it up on the stove.
I traveled to Morocco because I was doing a study abroad class in Morocco when I was a professor. One of the other professors that was doing the study abroad class with me brought in his suitcase a 6-pack of Dr. Pepper because he wasn't going to be able to get it in Morocco for 2 weeks while we were there so that he could have it because he was one of the people that didn't drink coffee and only drank Dr. Pepper.
Oh my God. That is next level.
Yes.
Yep. That's next level.
Yeah. So I looked up, of course, like what states in the country consume the most Dr. Pepper. And it is consumed the most in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Kansas.
Okay.
Nebraska.
Uh-huh.
So all of those ones. Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, West Virginia, Idaho, and Alaska.
Interesting.
It's where Dr. Pepper is consumed the most.
So kind of more west, it seems.
Yeah, like, and central?
Yeah. Yes, like central west. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not so much east coast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another fun fact, Dr. Pepper is also 1 year older than Coca Cola.
Really?
Yes. Again, in 1885. But if you remember correctly, the original Coke, even though it also was 1885, was like that wine thing. And the Coke recipe didn't actually start until 1886. So in 1885, 1 year before Coke, in Waco, Texas, another pharmacist named Charles Alderton, he created the Dr. Pepper flavor. And I thought this was also fascinating. He worked at a place called Morrison's Old Corner Drugstore, and he loved working in the drugstore, and specifically he loved the way the drugstore smelled because at the time, today drugstores smell kind of weird, but at the time a drugstore would have smelled like dried fruit and herbs like all of these things that they were like creating, tinctures and whatever out of. And so he wanted to create a drink that would taste like the drugstore smelled.
Okay, so that's why, was it 23?
Yeah, 23
flavors or whatever?
Yes. So when you are drinking a Dr. Pepper, make sure that you're drinking the smell of a pharmacy from the
An old school pharmacy.
Yeah. So anyway, he created that. The owner, Morrison, really liked it. And for a while, they just called it Waco as the drink. They didn't have a name for it. And then Morrison eventually changed it to Dr. Pepper. But there's a Dr. Pepper museum in Waco, Texas. And according to the Dr. Pepper museum, they don't know why he picked the name Dr. Pepper. The museum has collected over a dozen different versions of how it got its name.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they have no idea why he changed the name. But either way, he changed it. The drink became popular. Other soda fountains started buying it. So similar to the Coke story. But then it basically outgrew the ability of his pharmacy to produce the syrup. And so this other guy, Robert Lazenby, who was a beverage chemist, he liked the drink. And so the two of them, Morrison and Lazenby, decided to develop the drink together. The original guy that made it, Alderton, he was just like, no, I like being a pharmacist. You guys go make your soda beverages. And so he just wasn't involved. So they formed the Dr. Pepper Company in 1891. But the big break for Dr. Pepper, which goes back to our condiments episode, was at the 1904 World's Fair.
Oh my God. Yes. Where French's made its debut.
Exactly. So apparently there was like this huge food thing at the World's Fair. And they debuted all these foods like French's, apparently also the hot dog bun.
Yeah.
And also ice cream cones.
Wow.
Yes. All of these were debuted at the 1904 World's Fair and Dr. Pepper.
What a time to be alive.
I know. So they debuted it at the World's Fair. That's where it really started growing. In 1923, they moved the headquarters to Dallas. But what's also interesting, which makes me think of our liquor laws episode, it didn't have national distribution until 1960. So you could only get it in certain states.
Yeah.
Before 1960. And so like you had like their commercials and stuff were kind of tailored towards that. It was like, if you're lucky enough to live where you can get it.
So when you lived in Oklahoma, could you get Diet Dr. Pepper like everywhere at every restaurant?
Dr. Pepper everywhere, 100%.
Yeah.
It's hard to find around the East Coast, I feel.
Yeah, it's like I can get it at a restaurant or something, but never Diet, only just original. So it's usually only just Dr. Pepper. And it may or may not be available. There's some places that have it, some places that don't.
Yeah. No, it was very prevalent.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because I thought it was so weird because I was always like I liked Dr. Pepper and I would buy it. We definitely had Dr. Pepper in college that we hung on our wall for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But the prevalence is a lot stronger.
And now they have like flavored Dr. Peppers too.
Yes.
Have you seen those, like the vanilla and
Have you tried the coconut one?
No. Oh my God, I didn't know there was a coconut one.
Yeah, creamy coconut Dr. Pepper.
Oh, that would be good. It's
really good.
I love coconut.
Mm-hmm.
They do, however, Kroger has in our since we're not brand name purchasers anymore. They have Dr. K and cream soda mix. And I'll tell you what, that is delicious. I like that. It's a little Dr. Peppery and a little cream soda-y.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know.
I did not realize.
Yeah, I was just shocked that some of these, well, one, were, I guess, that old, but two, basically came out of this health trend that was going on. And I was just doing all this research and I was like, wait, that ties into this episode. That ties into this episode.
I know.
It was so weird.
Yes. It came full circle.
I know.
Soda. Who knew?
Who knew that soda was going to be the connecting factor?
Right?
Yeah. And that Dr. Pepper was originally a regional soda, which, I mean, I guess it still kind of is on some level a regional soda. But
well, I didn't even realize that because I guess I didn't realize that there would be higher prevalence elsewhere. Right? Like, to me, I just thought, like, it's one of those things like, oh, if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not kind of thing.
Yeah. But taken over because now it's the second, as of 2023, second most popular in the U.S.
See, and I just assumed it was owned by Coke or Pepsi. I didn't realize it was still independent, too. That's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, with Keurig, but yeah, it's
still,
like its own
It's
soda.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like one of the two big ones. Like,
right.
I feel like Pepsi and Coke own everything.
Right. Exactly. Separate.
So interesting. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, speaking of regionality, I decided to do a little bit of research on, well, two specific types of soda, ginger ale and root beer, and digging in a little bit more to the origins of those. And then also some very specific regional variations that have, funny enough, similar stories to what you've described, but they, developed in a certain region by a certain person and maybe never caught on the same way that Coke and Pepsi did.
I feel like when I think of ginger ale, I think back to Schweppes.
Yes. Okay. So that's definitely part of ginger ale. So let's talk about ginger ale first. Then.
Yeah.
So ginger ale, which I'd never really thought about, but it's, ginger ale instead of like ginger soda. Like they don't call any other sodas ales, right? But unsurprisingly, this is because it started out it's an offshoot of ginger beer, which ginger beer was brewed mostly in England and was very popular in the UK and was obviously an alcoholic beverage, but it used the ginger root and was like a fermented beer with the ginger flavor.
Interesting. I feel like today ginger beer is not alcoholic.
Correct. It's not. It's basically just like a more gingery ginger ale.
Yeah.
But they call it ginger beer. But at the time, it was a flavor of beer that was available in the UK. And then in the 1850s, soda makers in Ireland made a non-alcoholic version of ginger beer by basically adding flavoring to carbonated water. So like what they were doing at these pharmacies, but it was more specifically the ginger flavor and was meant to be based on this ginger beer that already existed. So that was kind of the very original, but the ginger ale as we know it today, I mean, that still more closely, I think, resembled the ginger beer than it did a soda today, like flavor wise. So in the 1890s, John McLaughlin, a Canadian pharmacist, created his own, what he called Belfast style ginger ale. And then in 1907, refined the recipe to a lighter and crisper version of the beverage. So he at first was trying to mimic these ginger drinks from Ireland, which were a heavier ginger forward flavor. And then by about 1907, he was like kind of tinkering with the recipe and came up with this basically less gingery and like more of a light soda. And that would become Canada Dry.
Oh.
Yes. So,
which I would argue is the superior
that's my fave.
Ginger ale. Like if I'm going to get ginger ale. And that's we'll talk about Werner's in a minute, I think, but I think Werner's is different. But for a ginger ale, Canada Dry, in my opinion, superior.
It's my favorite. Yep. Yes. I hardly even think about getting a different ginger ale.
Yeah, 100%. This is interesting that ginger ale, it kind of is like the same thing as Coca Cola and stuff coming from the wine mixing.
Yes.
And then this is coming from like the beer.
A beer.
Yeah. Huh.
Yep. A beer to a non-alcoholic beer to, and then they kept it as like an ale. They called it a ginger ale.
Interesting.
Yes. One of the first ads for Canada Dry called it the champagne of ginger ales.
Oh, I mean,
it was like
don't disagree.
Yes, it was the fanciest of the ginger ales. I think that was to call out kind of that light color, because until then, that lighter recipe, that was not what a ginger ale or a ginger beer would be like. It would be like that really dark kind of syrupy. Actually, what you think of when you think of Werner's, which, like you said, we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it also does kind of like in that lightness evoke champagne on some level, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's funny too that when you were talking about Dr. Pepper being regional, I always kind of thought, I mean, I know ginger ale is available everywhere in different types, but I specifically remember when we would visit New England for vacations and stuff, all the restaurants had ginger ale. And that was not something that happened at home. Like that was not on the fountain. And it was Canada Dry, right? And so I think New England's proximity to Canada meant that you were going to get more opportunities to drink ginger ale. And other than that, the only time I would drink ginger ale is if we purchased it for home.
Yeah.
Or two, if I was on an airplane.
I was just going to say.
Airplane ginger ale.
You always get the ginger ale on an airplane. 100%.
Yes. What is that? I've always ordered ginger ale on the airplane.
I think it has to do with like settling your stomach a bit.
Yeah.
While you're flying. Right?
Yep.
It just kind of like settles everything.
It must be. I also feel like it was like when I realized I could get ginger ale on a flight, it was like, ooh, that's something special that I wouldn't normally get in a restaurant. Like when I was a kid, I was kind of like, ooh, ginger ale. Like I don't get that very often because not all restaurants had ginger ale.
Ginger ale is the superior flight choice. If you disagree,
agreed.
Tell me in the comments what your flight choice is, because I'm sorry, it's ginger ale.
Yeah. And it should be Canada Dry. Occasionally, if they pull out like a Schweppes or whatever, I'm like, it's fine. I guess I'll drink that, or Seagram's or whatever. But like, no, Canada Dry is the champagne of ginger ales. It's so delicious.
It's superior. Yep. It's the Coca Cola of ginger ale.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the best one.
I agree. So, like you said, or alluded to, ginger ale has long been touted as a stomach settling beverage. And of course, ginger does have that property. And so back in the day, that would have been a common reason to consume ginger ale.
Sure.
Today, I read that the actual ginger extract that's used in ginger ales, it's like none. It's like slim to none.
That's a bummer.
So I think there might be a little bit of the placebo effect there.
Sure.
But I would still contend it's like the thing I want, even if it just tastes like ginger. I think it must have some kind of effect on my stomach, because nothing is better than ginger ale and saltines when you're sick.
Oh, when you're sick? Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Well, and specifically, I feel like when you're sick, at least in the household I grew up in, but granted, my parents are from Detroit, it was Verner's specifically when you're sick.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, Verner's specifically was the thing when you're sick.
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
I just ginger ale in general for us, but.
Yeah.
Okay. So some of the other brands, we're just talking about Verner's, which was created in Detroit, Michigan, around 1866 by the pharmacist, James Verner. And Verner's is actually the oldest surviving American ginger ale.
Yeah. All right. Well, 1866, that predates Coke and Dr. Pepper by 20 years.
Yeah. Yep. And then, like, as we were kind of alluding to earlier too, Verner's, although it's a ginger ale, it's distinctly different than most ginger ales, I think, on the market, in that it's a more dark, syrupy, heavily ginger, but sweet flavor. And it's less carbonated than a lot of other ginger ales as well.
Agree. That's why I said, I always think of Verner's as like a separate beverage from a ginger ale, even though I know it's not. I know it's technically a ginger ale, but to me it's a very distinct flavor on its own. Right. And I don't know. Yeah. And it feels heavier.
Yes, like, it totally is. Because I think of the amount of syrup. It's the amount of syrup to soda ratio. And then, side note on that, my cousin who grew up in Maine, when they would come to visit family, like in Ohio or whatever, they wouldn't really get Verner's in Maine. So he was able to have it, though, when they would come to Ohio.
Oh, yeah. We would always stock up when we went to Detroit and like bring some home.
Yeah. But as a kid, he referred to it as Vernor's.
Yes. Pinkies up, Vernor's.
That's right. Can I have some Vernor's, please? Which made me laugh with the champagne of ginger ales, but Vernor's is
it's a classy.
Also, very classy
beverage.
Ginger ale. And then, as you mentioned, Schweppes, they've been around since the 1780s, and their ginger ale came out around the 1870s. So it's also been around for a long time too. And I would say Schweppes is a little bit more comparable to like Canada Dry. It's definitely not as
it has a lighter flavor, I think.
Yeah. It's not as it doesn't have as much like of the gingery flavor, in my opinion. Anyway, I love a ginger ale and I love Canada Dry. All right, so kind of related to ginger ale, and I'll get to why here in a second, but root beer. So I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with root beer, right? Because what is the flavor of root beer?
It's sarsaparilla, right?
Well, so
I always just think of like the Old West, be like, sarsaparilla soda.
Yeah. Right? Yes. Okay. So
what is sarsaparilla? I have no idea.
That's a good question, right? So this is where the rabbit hole came in. So actually, most root beers are brewed with sassafras, but yes, sarsaparilla is something that's been used as well. So just small tangent here, but sarsaparilla, true sarsaparilla, is actually a South American tropical vine that grows in the canopy of the rainforest. And it's been used in South America, the West Indies, Jamaica, the Caribbean, Honduras, Mexico by natives there for many, many years for medicinal purposes. So in their own like brews and beverages that they make. In the United States, in the Northeast as well as the Southwest, there's also something that they call wild sarsaparilla, which is very confusing because it's not related to true sarsaparilla at all. It's a completely different plant.
Good job. Good job, whoever needed that.
It's called wild sarsaparilla, and it's a ground cover plant that's commonly found in the Northeast. And yeah, it has a similar flavor profile, though, to the original sarsaparilla. So that's probably why they call it wild sarsaparilla. And it's just different. But it, for whatever reason, it tastes the same. The rhizomes on the roots taste the same. Okay, so
okay.
That's where you're getting the sarsaparilla for the United States.
Okay. It's like the wasabi horseradish
situation. Yes, correct. Okay. Correct. Yeah. It's exactly what I was thinking. Goes back to our condiment episode.
Yeah.
So aside from sarsaparilla, then you also have sassafras. All right. Not to be confused with another S plant.
Sassafras.
Sassafras is a tree that exists in the Southwest United States as well as the Northeast. And those were also used by the native populations in the Southwest to brew beverages for many, many years before the Europeans arrived. However, when the Europeans did arrive in the United States, they reported many sassafras trees, even in the northeastern United States, and started bringing the bark of the trees back to Europe, where it was used to make a dark beverage called saloup. And saloup was not carbonated. It was served alongside coffee and tea, often with like milk and sugar, just like coffee or tea would be. And it was very popular.
Okay.
However, so popular that they were stripping the bark off all the trees, which would make the trees die. And then in like 20 some years, they like decimated the sassafras tree population.
Yes. The story of colonialism.
Right.
Let's kill the thing that we just found is cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's kind of what happened there. So that then brings us to what might be considered the original root beer, which came out of a category of beverages called small beers in the American colonies. And these small beers were beverages that sometimes had alcohol and sometimes did not, but they were basically made with whatever was on hand and was regional and available. And sometimes they were fermented and became, carbonated, and sometimes they were not.
Okay.
So some other examples of these small beers would include birch beer, sarsaparilla, and sarsaparilla beer or whatever, ginger beer as well, and root beer. But you'll notice that root beer is very general.
Yeah.
It was basically just made from roots. So
like any root?
Any roots.
Oh.
So root beer recipes of that era contain different combinations of ingredients, such as, listen to this list. This was nuts to me. Allspice, birch bark, coriander, juniper, ginger, wintergreen, hops, burdock root, dandelion root, spikenard, pipsissewa? I don't even know what that is. Guaiacum chips, sarsaparilla, spicewood, wild cherry bark, yellow dock, prickly ash bark, sassafras root, vanilla beans, hops, doggrass, molasses, and licorice. So any of those things, might get thrown into a root beer back in the day.
Whoa.
Yes. And this also blew my mind. There's no single recipe for root beer. So
that's what I was just going to say. Standard. So like it's probably just a combination of like mimicking any of these flavors.
Right. Yes. And it could be any combination of those things or lack thereof. Just depends on who's making it and what was available.
I mean, that explains why, in my opinion, root beers are widely variable.
Yes, they are. Right?
Yeah.
There's big, not like ginger ale. I feel like there's a smaller spectrum of ginger ale. Root beer is like it can be all over the place.
Because I've had some root beers where I'm like, this tastes not good.
Maybe too much of the licorice.
And then I've had some root beers that I'm like, dang, root beer is amazing. Like,
right? Yeah. So and obviously this is very, very early on where root beer might have come from. It's not like the beverage that we're thinking about today, right? The sodas. That the modern version of root beer was invented by a man named Charles Hires, who sold packages of dry root tea in his store, the root mostly referring to the sassafras root.
Okay.
And he then created a liquid concentrate version of this. And then during this explosion of adding, flavors to our sodas, water that's like kind of newly discovered, that's kind of when things caught on. During the 1876 Centennial Exposition in Philadelphia, he changed the name to root beer to appeal more to the working class and started selling the syrup added to a soda water.
Wow. Okay. So, So, I mean, that is why it would be still like associated in my brain though with like sarsaparilla, because that would have been potentially one of the flavors.
Yes. And sassafras is probably the most notable, recognizable root beer flavor that you're going to pick up today, which is, I think, also along the same lines of like tasting notes as the sarsaparilla. But it is different. It is different.
Wow.
And it's not sarsaparilla. It's not South American, Central American sarsaparilla.
Right.
It's wild sarsaparilla, which is
from the West. Yeah. Which is why I'm also associating it with like saloons and cowboys or something.
Probably,
like
yes.
Because
one of the quote unquote small beers that I was talking about that colonists would have made was a sarsaparilla beer. And I think it was also very popular out like West too.
Okay. Huh.
So, yeah, right? So it makes sense. However, I had never given any thought to what actually went into root beer. And I had no idea how variable the ingredients could be.
Yeah, like for whatever reason, my brain didn't bother to connect the word root in root beer to like actual roots of plants.
Yeah. And also just
I don't know why.
Generally speaking, right? Not like one specific root. Right. Just like roots.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Is how it started.
Okay. Yeah, that's like blowing my mind a little bit. Like,
right? I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, so root beer could be anything. And like you said, I think one of the reasons why it's so variable even today. So like anyone can kind of come up with their own version of root beer and they're going to tweak what flavors they're putting in there and what is more pronounced. And it could be like very different from your typical sassafras forward root beer or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which really made me want to try more root beers.
I am like curious about this because like I've definitely been to breweries and stuff that make their own non-alcoholic like root beer. And I mean some of them that I've tried have been delicious. But it is really that is interesting at how unique root beer can be. I mean, I think I always just think of like A&W or like Barks or something, but I guess it could be whatever combination of plants.
It made me think of, so just locally we have this old drive-in that's been around forever called Mug and Bun, and they have their own root beer. And then there's this place in Lafayette, Indiana that Guy Fieri visited on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives called Triple X. It's also a very old historic diner, and they make their own root beer. So Triple X root beer is like a craft root beer, I guess, that you could get around here. I also noticed recently that Culver's makes its own root beer.
Oh,
so when I go to Culver's, they have Culver's root beer. And when we went, Richard asked me, he's like, well, is it more like Barks or is it more like A&W? Because if you know, right? There's a big difference between A&W and Barks.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And Mug.
Yes, and Mug. Yep. I was like, actually, you're going to hate this answer, but it's kind of like in between. It's like both. It's like in between A&W and Barks. But he tasted it and he agreed. He's like, oh, you're right. It like tastes a little bit like both of, like it is like in the middle of the two.
Yeah.
So
wild.
I thought that was funny.
Okay. That is funny.
Yeah. Huh. So yeah, you already mentioned some of the most well-known brands that I had on my list, which was A&W, which started in Lodi, California in 1919. So that one was a little bit later. Barks started in 1898 and was founded by the Bark brothers.
Okay.
That owned a bottling company in New Orleans in the French Quarter. Which, all right. Yeah. That's which fun. Makes sense, I guess, when you think about the name Barks. It sounds French. But I never thought about that. and Mug root beer, which was originally marketed as Belfast root beer. So again, with the Irish soda. Yeah, like during the 1940s by the Belfast Beverage Company in San Francisco, who was known for their ginger ale. But then, they changed the name to Mug root beer. So that one wasn't even until the 1940s. So that one's like relatively new. And then I don't know if you've ever heard of this one. It might be, it's more regional, but Dad's root beer. Have you seen Dad's root beer? Have you ever seen the little root beer barrel candies?
Yeah.
Have you ever, the ones that I always see are Dad's root beer barrel candies.
Oh, the ones I see are just like a generic bulk candy.
Oh, okay.
Like the strawberry things, but they're like a clear cellophane wrapper.
Yes. Ugh, I literally just got some of those strawberry candies this past weekend. I love those so much.
We're old grandmas now, I guess, with our candies.
I know. I went into a candy store and I flipped out. I was like, oh my God, I love those strawberry candies.
Oh my God.
So, but they had Dad's root beer candies too. So those are Chicago. It's a Chicago company.
Oh, okay.
They're headquartered in Indiana now. So, I mean, that's probably why I
maybe
am more familiar. But it was created by Eli Clapman and Barney Burns in Chicago, and they formulated it in their basement in the 1930s. So
this tracks for Chicago. This feels like basement brewing in the 1930s.
But I must say I am going to be on the lookout / really paying attention to any unique craft root beers I can find now, because I am going to be very curious as to what they taste like and what their like claim to fame is.
100%.
Yeah. All right. So on that note, Dad's root beer and their hyper regionality, I also went on the search for the most regional sodas I could find that you may or may not have heard of, depending on where you live. The first one, shout out to New England, Moxie.
Oh, yeah. Maine.
Yeah. So it was actually invented in Massachusetts, but for whatever reason, Mainers really have locked on to Moxie. And the guy who invented it was originally a Mainer as well. He was also a Civil War vet, by the way. I know you talked about another guy who was it the Coca Cola guy was. So apparently they're coming back from the Civil War and making soda. That was a common
hobby. Yeah.
So Moxie was invented in Lowell, Mass in 1876 by Dr. Augustine Thompson. Has a very bitter taste. And in an early ad claimed that it cools the blood, tones up the stomach, and causes healthful, restful sleep.
Tones the stomach. If a soda could tone my stomach, I would be like, all right, sweet.
Right. I think this probably like settles your stomach.
Sure.
But, but I thought the same thing. I was like, ooh, auto toning of the stomach with the soda. Like, drink the soda and bail your 6-pack.
Yeah, right. 6-pack of soda, get a 6-pack of abs. Woo.
So Moxie. So that's very New England. You're not likely going to find that outside of New England.
No.
Dr. Brown's celery tonic. So apparently Dr. Brown's has been around for a long time and they have other flavors as well. But in particular, celery was a popular herbal remedy ingredient. And so they had a celery soda, basically, that they renamed to Celeray. R-A-Y. Yeah.
Celeray.
So Dr. Brown's Celeray.
Okay.
So that was made in Brooklyn in 1868.
I'm not going to lie. Celery tonic makes me think of, did you ever read the series of Unfortunate Events or watch the show?
Oh, yes.
Because there's the one that's like the Aerostats elevator and they're obsessed with parsley soda. And I just... Celery tonic just makes me think of parsley soda.
So parsley soda. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm not like... celery's fine. I don't think I want to drink it, though. No.
Yeah. I mean, I know celery juice is still a popular health drink, but...
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. The next one is Big Red. Have you ever had a Big Red?
Yeah,
I
love
love a Big Red.
Yeah.
My grandma used to keep Big Reds in her refrigerator.
Okay.
Yeah, so Big Red is basically, it's like a red cream soda
Yeah.
if you haven't had it, and it was invented in Waco, Texas
Oh,
in
also Waco.
1930. Yeah, I know, right? Little soda hotbed down there.
I know. Okay.
Yeah, it was invented in Waco, Texas by Grover Thompson and R.H. Rourke. They originally called it their Suntang Red Cream Soda, and eventually it got rebranded to Big Red.
Big Red.
Yes.
Yeah, Faygo's got like Red Pop, right? Which is kind of the same thing.
Yes, Red Pop. I love
Red Pop.
How general that is.
I feel like I just had more Faygo being from Detroit, so Red Pop was more of an option for me than Big Red.
Yes, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Ale 81. Have you ever seen that one?
No.
I see that one occasionally here, and it makes sense because now I know it's from Kentucky.
Oh.
Yeah, Ale 81. Yeah, it occasionally pops up around here in a fountain. It was invented in Kentucky, Winchester, Kentucky, by G.L. Wainscott in 1926. And it's basically a version of ginger ale, but it's like a cross between ginger ale and a lemon lime soda.
Oh.
So it has like ginger ale, but it also has some like lemon limey flavor to it. It's good. Yeah, it's good. And then Cheerwine. Have you heard of Cheerwine?
Oh, yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've seen it recently in the grocery store, and I don't know if this is because I've just been paying attention more because we've been talking about this topic, or if it's just more recently been made more available in this area. But Cheerwine was made in Salisbury, North Carolina during a sugar shortage. The inventor was looking for another way to sweeten and flavor a soda, and he found this dark cherry syrup that he liked the flavor of, and created this dark red or burgundy soda that they named Cheerwine because of its,
cheering properties.
Yes, it's cheerful flavor. And actually, I was thinking with you talking about how they used to mix wine with soda, it probably makes sense that they were calling it Cheerwine. So yeah, it has a strong black cherry flavor and a high degree of carbonation compared to other sodas. And it's the oldest continuing soft drink run by the same family.
Oh.
So since 1917, it's been a family-owned business and still is. It's like the great-grandson is the CEO right now of the guy who created it.
Interesting. There's an ice cream shop near me that does Cheerwine floats.
Okay, nice.
So instead, like, they have root beer floats too, but then you can also get a Cheerwine float.
Nice. Yeah, I've never had it, so now I kind of want to try it. And it's very popular in the South. Being from North Carolina, I think it kind of stayed in the South for a while, but then it really expanded. They've expanded a lot since then. And in 2017, that was their 100-year anniversary. They started an annual Cheerwine event in Salisbury, North Carolina, that still goes on today. So it has a big following, apparently. It's very popular.
Yeah, I think it's like a cult soda, like Moxie on some level. Yeah.
Yes, that's the impression I got. And then just a real quick shout out to Faygo, because you mentioned it, Detroit. So Faygo was created in 1907 by two Russian immigrant bakers.
Oh.
So not pharmacists this time. Yeah, I thought this was really interesting. Ben and Perry Feigenson wanted to make pop flavored like the frosting that they used in their bakery.
Okay.
So they created fruit punch, strawberry, and grape as their original Faygo flavors. They decided that Feigenson, their name, Feigenson Bros or whatever, was too long for the name, so they shortened it to Faygo. So that's how you get Faygo.
Oh.
And and so that's why if you've had Faygo, it's like super sweet, one. And two, they have a lot of interesting or different flavors than you might see. Yeah. Like you mentioned Red Pop.
Yes. And my family's favorite Faygo was Rock and Rye.
Okay. What did that taste like?
I don't even know how to describe Rock and Rye. I guess it's kind of like a cream soda.
Okay.
It's
I did see that they have a cotton candy flavor.
Yeah. So, okay, here's like what someone like Atlas Obscura describes Rock and Rye as: a light vanilla cream soda with a hint of semi-tart cherry flavor.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's definitely
I found
a unique flavor.
Yeah, I found a list on Wikipedia of the Faygo flavors. So as of 2025, there are 57 flavor beverage options offered by Faygo, including, I'll just name off a few. I'm not going to go through all.
Yeah.
57. Bubble Pop, which I think is like a bubble gum, like flavored. Yeah. Super Pop, which who knows what. Jolly Green Apple, Firework. They still have Fruit Punch. Pineapple Orange, Jazzin' Blues Berry, Twist, Tonic, Club Soda, Arctic Sun, Cotton Candy, Grape, Gold. I love how I just go like really lean into the colors.
Just the colors. Yeah.
Yeah. Rock and Rye.
What gold tastes like.
Yep. They do have a root beer, which now I'm like very curious to see what their root beer tastes like.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I've ever had it.
And
Moon Mist. That was the one I remember being at my grandma's house a lot. She would get the Moon Mist.
Nice.
And then there's, Moon Mist Blue. Again, with the
color.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have Candy Apple. So that's kind of what Faygo's known for. I thought it was fun that it was bakers who were like, ooh, let's make our frostings into a drink. Like, no wonder they taste like what they do.
Right. No wonder they're so sweet and taste like crazy. Yeah. Although that does make me think of, so I know that right now it's like trending this like have dirty soda, right? Which is kind of the swig thing.
Right. So like adding cream or different flavors to your
it's like you take a soda like Coke or Sprite or whatever, and then you add like coffee creamer or like other flavors like flavor syrups or fruit to mix it together. And I was like, time out, is that not just an Italian soda?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. And so then I like looked it up, but this is why it reminds me of Faygo. Italian soda is just soda water with the fruit flavor syrups. So like the Torani flavor syrups and soda water, like that's what it is. So it's actually a lighter version, right? Whereas like a dirty soda is like you're still taking an established pop like Coke or whatever, and then you're adding your own like combination stuff to it. So all Italian sodas don't have caffeine because it's just soda water with the flavor syrup. Whereas a dirty soda is like you're taking an actual soda and then putting stuff in it. Like, so it makes me think of like, I don't know, the Faygo with all their like fruity flavors and everything else like that. It's like the Italian soda is just sort of like a lighter, uncaffeinated version.
Yeah. And you can get an Italian cream soda too.
Yes.
Right.
You add,
so like,
you just add like cream. Half and half to it. Yeah.
Which is delicious. Bring that back.
100%. I feel like those used to be really popular and now I don't really find them anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like in college, I feel like we had those. Italian
we definitely
sodas.
did.
They were popular. And then, I don't know, people just want to
get them at the cafe.
Right. I feel like the dirty soda trend, it just makes me think of like when you're a kid and you go to a soda fountain and you mix all the flavors together.
And if you were lucky enough to go to a soda fountain where they had like the pump syrups, then you might also add some vanilla and some caramel and some like random other flavors into your mixture of random sodas too.
Yes. Nope. That's how I feel.
Yeah. And so all I can say is this was a very interesting rabbit hole to go down with all of these different offshoots of sodas. In particular, like the root beer really just like found that fascinating.
Well, it's but like also changed my perspective on soda on some level because now I'm like, oh, this is where we're getting all these random flavors because it's like pharmacists mixing up different stuff together.
Yep. And it's really made me want to explore some more of the craft soda or some of the more unique flavors and smaller brands maybe that I sometimes see in the store that I don't really think about because now I'm like, man, there really is such specific histories to so many of these different flavors. I like that idea. But also it made me think of your brother's Instagram because every few months, he posts on Instagram and the only thing he's ever posted on Instagram have been reviews of really random soda flavors.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Sodas I've never seen or heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very.
That is true. My brother, shout out Soldier Scuzzy, at Soldier Scuzzy. The only thing he has posted on his Instagram ever is reviews of soda flavors.
Yep. And I gotta say, I'm gonna be paying closer attention now and maybe going back through his history.
Yeah, to find some really
and maybe
weird
trying some of these out for myself, because now my interest is piqued.